Astrophotography during the northeast monsoon here in the Philippines can be tough, and I tend to miss the stars when it's been too long. But you can use this time to plan out your astrophotography projects, so make it count. So tonight I'm gonna photograph the famous Pleiades star cluster in the constellation Taurus using my DSLR. So I just recently got my first Batinov mask that I will use for my telescope from Shopee. But I will not be photographing the Pleiades star cluster through my telescope because it is not yet the most practical thing to do, and besides I don't have a star tracker yet. So my best bet in getting a lot of detail in the Pleiades star cluster is by using my DSLR camera alone to photograph the star cluster. And now, considering the location that I am in the northern hemisphere and the time that I am photographing it, the Pleiades star cluster will already be very high up into the sky early in the evening before it starts to descend to the west. But there's a huge area where I can photograph the Pleiades star cluster, so I will not have any trouble whatsoever in gathering data of the Pleiades star cluster. And so in today's video I will take you through the entire process of capturing the famous Pleiades star cluster, also known as the Seven Sisters. And if everything goes well, if the sky is clear, then I will have a stunning image to show you at the end of the video. So I hope you join me in another session of astrophotography. So I'll be using my Canon EOS 700D DSLR camera that I am currently using now to vlog that is not astro modified. But unlike other deep sky targets, as for the Pleiades star cluster, you don't need to astro modify your camera to capture the most amount of detail from the Pleiades star cluster. A stock DSLR will already allow you to capture more detail from the Pleiades star cluster, and having an astro modified camera won't help you a lot in creating your projects of the Pleiades star cluster. So the Pleiades star cluster emits broadband light, especially those blue reflection nebula that surrounds the stars. So it's easy to find, easy to frame up, and in fact you can see with your own eyes, even from the middle of a city. The Pleiades star cluster is actually one of the first deep sky objects that you would be able to see with your own eyes. It is one of the best deep sky astrophotography targets for beginners, aside from the Orion Nebula. So for nearly 2 weeks now, it's been cold and cloudy weather, but in the past few days, it's been clear skies. But the weather forecast doesn't really look good for several days ahead, but if tonight is going to be clear skies, then I'm okay with that. But if the haze softens up the image a little bit, then I'm okay with that as well. Just as long as it doesn't rain or drizzle. So as for the forecast for tonight, it doesn't really look good, but it's definitely worth a try because a few days ago, the weather forecast stated that it's going to be cloudy skies, but early in the evening it was just clear skies with some clouds here and there. But of course later on it became overcast. But still, it's definitely worth a try. So as you might have noticed, I already had a haircut, so no more long hair, and back to my old self now. But in general though, broadband targets from the city with heavy light pollution. I live close to orbital class 6 skies, so it's definitely going to be challenging. But this is not the first time that I photographed the Pleiades star cluster. So I'm gonna start shooting the Pleiades star cluster at around 7 or 8 p.m. after I am done with my cardio exercises. So yes, I do exercise to stay healthy during the quarantine. And I also have to deal with a 9% illuminated waxing crescent moon, but that is not a problem whatsoever because it's just gonna set later on in the evening. And the waxing crescent moon doesn't really block out a lot of detail in the night sky. So it didn't exactly go out the way that I planned it to go, but right now the sky itself is clear and there's already a 73% illuminated waxing gibbous moon that is already very close to the Pleiades star cluster, and I'm going to attempt to capture it. I know it's going to be hard, but at least it's worth a try. So I'm currently taking my 4-second exposures. So finally, after many days of cloudy skies and cold weather, the sky is now finally clear, and it's still quite cold out here, but I am now imaging the Pleiades star cluster again because it's clear enough and the moon is not present in the sky. It will rise up at around 8:11 p.m. tonight. So there's a bit of haze that is in front of the Pleiades right now, but I'm okay with that since it doesn't really affect the image that much. And so I'm taking 30 15-minute exposures of the Pleiades as well as 30 15-minute dark frames in order to stack them later on in sequator and create the final image. And it's also very windy out here, so I am sorry for the fact that the video is a bit disjointed, but that's what happens when the clouds roll in. But I am actually hungry right now, and after I finish my imaging session here, I will eat right away, and hopefully you will enjoy the image at the end of the video. And if you're planning to enjoy the night sky anytime soon, I wish you good luck and clear skies. And stay safe, everyone.